Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me Gowri. Today I'm sharing a super simple and delicious Spanish delight cake, which is quite trending now. It is super soft and juicy. So before watching the video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you would be updated whenever I post a new video. Make sure you press the option all. So for the dry ingredients, you need to sift 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour or maida. Into that, add in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So here I've used light cocoa powder. Add in 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Half teaspoon of baking powder. So here I've used only 1/4 as mine is double acting. So you should have used one half teaspoon. And you need to sift this 3 times and make sure you just give it a quick mix at the last so that it's incorporated well, and keep it aside. So here I've taken a clean and a dry bowl. You need to crack 2 eggs into it. Make sure the droplet of water is also not present in the bowl, and make sure the egg is at room temperature so that you would whip up really well. You would be able to whip up really well. And you need to add in 4 tablespoons of white granulated sugar and add in half teaspoon of vanilla essence. So here I've added only 1/4 teaspoon as mine is a strong one, and a pinch of salt. Here I'm using an electric beater. You may even use a whisk, but it would take more time and a lot of hard work. So you need to beat it really well until it becomes pale, fluffy, and it forms soft peaks. So you can see a huge change in it. It has become even soft peaks. And you need to add 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. So here I'm adding it 4 times as mine is half tablespoon. And just beat it in low speed just for 30 seconds. And if you beat it for more, your egg, which is whipped up really well, is going to go into a very liquidy like state, and it is not going to come out proper. So make sure just 30 seconds. And now you need to fold in the dry ingredients. So make sure you fold it really gently and take time for that. Otherwise your cake is not going to be as soft as you think, and it's not going to have a good height, so that we are not able to cut into layers. So make sure you fold it really gently. So while adding the dry ingredients, you can add 2 tablespoons of milk, which is at room temperature. So I had added it later. So it would be better if you add it in the starting itself while adding the dry ingredients, so that overmixing doesn't take place. So our batter is ready. Here I've taken a 6-inch tin. You can use 6-inch or 5-inch for this, but this is 3-inch height tall tin. You can even use 2.5 or 2-inch height tin also. There's no issue for that. After pouring the batter, you need to tap it so that the air bubbles are released, and you need to bake it. So here I've taken 3/4 cup of chilled whipping cream. So you need to beat it until it forms stiff peaks. So make sure the whipping cream is really chilled. Otherwise, if it is not that much cold, you need to freeze the blades of the beater and the bowl which you're using. So make sure to scrape it at some point of time. And while you make the bowl upside down, also the cream should not come out of it. So that is a stage. And you need to add in 1 teaspoon of boost and 1/4 teaspoon of instant coffee. So you need to add 1/4 heaped teaspoon of instant coffee. So you can use any brand, make sure it's instant, and you need to beat it with the help of an electric beater and just scrape the sides using a spatula. So for making for the syrup to soak our cake, I've taken half cup of milk, and into that add in 3 tablespoons of condensed milk. So we're not going to use sugar syrup for this cake. And you need to add in 1.5 tablespoon of boost and just bring it to a boil, and you can just leave it in the room temperature and keep it in your refrigerator so that it cools down. So this is done. Here I've taken 2 tablespoons of sugar. You need to caramelize it, so you can see some brown thing. That is just because I've used the same spoon for boost. So that's okay. And you need to caramelize it in low to medium flame. And make sure you do not burn the sugar, just caramelize, that's it. Just slightly when the color changes, not completely burning the sugar that it changes to a bitter taste. And you need to add 1 teaspoon of butter. This is unsalted butter. And once it melts, you need to add some nuts. So here I've taken 1.5 tablespoon of cashew nuts and 1.5 tablespoons of badam. So you may add any one. So I've taken a mix of both. And just give it a quick mix, and you need to transfer it to a plate. So I've transferred it to a steel plate which I have greased with oil. So it will cool down really fast as we have caramelized the sugar. So once it becomes crunchy, you need to make small pieces out of it, and you need to transfer it to a mixer jar, and you need to make powder out of it. So here I've made powder so that while we cut the cake, it is easy for us for getting a smooth cut, and the powder still gives us a good crunch. So our chilled boost milk and condensed milk syrup is chilled really well, and I'm transferring it into a squeeze bottle. So you can even use a spoon and do it, but this is much easier. So here I've taken 6-inch and 8-inch cake base. So it would be better if you use 8-inch cake base, as it would be really easy for doing the icing. So our cake is already done, and it's cooled down, and it is really soft. It is baked really perfectly. So you can see how soft it is. So we need to cut the cake into 3 layers. So here I've used a bread knife. You may even use any serrated knife, but it is easy, of course, while using a bread knife, as it is long. So here I've taken a piece of cake. Before that, apply some cream to the cake base so that it would remain stable. And you need to soak it up with the boost syrup which we made. So make sure you add, you need to divide the boost syrup into 3, and you need to add one pot of it to each layer. And you need to add the whipped cream right now. So make sure you just level it. That's it. You don't need to look after the shape. And the praline which we had prepared. So we need for the 2 layers and some for the top layer for the garnishing. So accordingly, divide it and use it. So keep the second layer, and as we did the first layer, follow the same procedure. So I'm just leveling it so that we can understand that whether our cake is at the correct place. And as we did for the first layer, you need to continue it for the second layer too. Apply the boost syrup and add the whipping cream. Just level it and add the praline. So this praline gives a really good taste, and the cream which we have used in this cake is super delicious, and even people who doesn't like whipped cream will love this cake because of the cream. So you need to just do the final coating. So in this last layer also, I've added some boost syrup, and the boost syrup is completely soaked in the whole cake, and you need to just apply cream and make it proper. Just level it all over. So you need to refrigerate it. And here I've taken a 2D nozzle. So I don't know the number, but you need to just fill the rest of the whipping cream into a piping bag using this nozzle. So here I've taken half cup of dark compound. So into this you need to add in 1 teaspoon of butter. And I've taken here 1/4 cup of fresh cream. So you need to double boil or melt it using a microwave. So this is the dark chocolate ganache for the cake. So this is chilled cake after I chilled it for overnight. So I've made a line, as you can see. So through the nozzle, as I've mentioned it earlier, with the help of that nozzle, I am making some designs, as you see. So it's very simple design and looks elegant too. So now the prepare praline which you have crushed and kept. I had asked you to keep some for the garnish, and this you have to stick it all over inside that border which we have created. And now you need to pour the chocolate ganache which we have prepared and kept all over the cake. So make sure you pour it correctly, as the flowers should not get disturbed, and the chocolate ganache should not be poured on top of them. So I've poured all the chocolate ganache, and it is having a very good glaze. So I've kept in a wire rack so that the excess chocolate gets collected in the plate. So you need to just clean it using a tissue paper or a cotton cloth. And now for the border design, I'm using the same nozzle so that it continues and gives a complete look. So using the same nozzle, I'm piping up some design. So it's done. And here I've taken some silver sugar balls. So you need to keep it on the center of each flower or the design which you have created out of the nozzle. This cake is really delicious and you would uh, never get disappointed after making it. It's that delicious. So at least make sure you try it once at least. You would keep on making it. So here I've taken some sugar balls. So I'm placing it on top of the cake as well. So keeping some distance. So our cake is almost ready. Yeah, it's ready. So now you need to chill your cake for around 4 to 5 hours. And this is after 4 to 5 hours. And I just heated the knife for 1 or 2 seconds. So that you get a clear cut as we have poured the ganache. And just wipe the knife after each cut so that you get a clear cut. You can see how smooth the knife is going. The cake is just soaked in the milk syrup with rich flavor of whipped cream and the praline and everything. You can see how perfect the layers have come. This cake is super moist and super juicy. You can see the perfect icing and the perfect layers. It is not too much of cream nor little. It's a perfect. So make sure you give this cake a try and let me know how did it turn out for you. See you in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.